Here is an easy way to do the clone effect inside of Final Cut Pro. Here is how to do the clone effect inside of Final Cut Pro. So something that makes it a lot more easy is if you have a line inside of your video. So like right here, I have this line for the wall. So I have my first clip of me talking, and then I have my second clip of me talking. So all I need to do now is just use the audio to line it up. So it should be after I finish talking, I then show up right here, and that's it for that part. So now, right here, I just go over to Effects, click on Mask, and since I stayed in between this line, I can just draw a line around right at this wall. Go ahead and zoom out to 25%, and now I just finished this mask, and there we go. You now have the effect that shows you on both sides. Now the only thing about this effect is the camera stays still. What you can do, I'm just going to go ahead and hit Option G to group this together. I'm going to go to my titles. I'm just going to go ahead and add a handheld title. So now it adds just a little bit of camera movement. Another way you could do it is just scaling in the video yourself and keyframing it. So now if you have the mask over here, even though I had the clip staying still, you can see a pretty clear line right here, which is why it's nice to have a line like the wall. Now another thing you can do, go to color board, go to exposure, and you're able to move this up and down to try to match it better. So like right here, you can see it matches this. It's just a matter of moving it all together to try to better match the brightness of the mask. So now right here it matches better. Just so you can play around with the exposure to get it to mask better. This is why, if you can, it's much better to, before you film, to look for a spot like the wall where you're able to just seamlessly mask the line. And then even right here, you can still go ahead and turn down the exposure just a little bit if it seems like it might be too bright or too dark for the actual scene. In another video tutorial that I had where I showed using Emerto AI instead of a green screen, I did the mask around the window, as you can see in this clip, where I was able to just mask out the window. Today I'm going to show you how to key green screen footage in Final Cut Pro X, just like this green screen. To begin the video, we have the footage of me talking with the green screen, and then I, without moving the camera, removed the green screen and the chair, and I got a shot of the background with my dog moving. So the first thing you want to do is come over to your green screen footage, come over here to Effects, go to Masks and Keying, and use Draw Mask. With the mask, you want to just only mask around the green. With the green screen, you want to make sure that there is no lines and that the light is even on the green screen. With this, I just set it up out of the box, and I didn't use any lighting except for just the lighting in my apartment. After you finish drawing the mask, you can now go to green screen keyer. If you have a older version of Final Cut, it should just be called keyer. Okay, so it looks like there is quite a lot of green screen that did not go, so click on sample color and you'll just start drawing around the areas that did not work. That looks pretty good. You can then come over here and switch to black and white. You have a lot of options over here to help make the keying better. A lot of times I've had a lot of success just using the matte tools. So you can go into these settings and kind of just mess around with the settings a little bit to try to get a better key. Also in this video, as soon as I move my hands up, I want to cut the green screen and the mask. So now that you have your footage keyed, you just grab your backplate, put it underneath the footage, and now it should be back to normal. To do a quick color grade, just go to Window, Workspaces, hit Color and Effects. So I'm just going to hit V on the background, come over to View, click on one box, come over here to Color Grade, and with the exposure, you just want to get exposure right below 100, midtones around here, and then the shadows right above 0. So exposure, you set it right below 100. So right here, this one's right below 100. The midtones right about there, 50. And then for shadows, majority up right there, it's above 0. And now with the background, do the same thing. So the exposure under 100, midtones around 50, and then shadows right above 0. Now with them all together, a quick thing you can do to match your other footage is hit Command C on the first footage, go to the second shot, go up to Edit, Paste Attributes, and then get rid of the green screen key here and draw mask and keep the color board. So now it's the same color brightness. That's how you do green screen in Final Cut Pro X. I'm going to quickly test out the scene removal inside of Final Cut Pro to see how it works. I wanted to test this by only just grabbing it and putting it on my clip and not doing any settings to it. It looks like only one side of me was masked out, so this still does work. You can still place an object or something behind you. If you hold down Option and drag your clip above it, it will make 2 copies, so that way you can have one that's masked and then one that's not. You can now place the object in the middle, and now you can see it goes behind you. So again, I wanted to test this by only just grabbing the scene removal mask and putting it on my clip and not doing anything else to it. I went ahead and just quickly keyframed the logo to go behind me. Looks like it does work for placing objects behind you. I'm going to show you how you can set up an adjustment layer inside of Final Cut Pro. So if you download FX Factory, they have a lot of plugins for Final Cut Pro. Once you have FX Factory, you can search adjustment layer, and right here it's free. So you'd click on download, it would then download it over to Final Cut, and now inside of Final Cut you go over to titles. Right here you have adjustment layers. They give you a lot of different options, like right here they have guides, and so you can move these lines around. They have widescreen, a bunch of different options, and then they have just the normal adjustment. So you can drag this line out here. Now anything that you add to this line will affect all the footage below it. So if you're doing something like adding color, go ahead and type color, grab color board, put it on the adjustment layer, double click color board, and now say if you change color, it adds it to all of the footage below. In this video, I'm going to place the Pokemon Charizard onto this footage. So when you go to your footage, if you scroll down here, you have the thing that says trackers. Click on the plus button. Now you want to find something in your footage that you can track. So I will go ahead and make tracker just a little bit smaller, and I'll just place it right over this log, and then you hit analyze. You'll be able to then scroll through and see how it did. So it looks like it didn't do too good, so I'll hit reset. And the trick is you kind of just keep on trying it until you get a better track. You can even go ahead and just zoom on in to get a better look at a spot you can track. So I'll go ahead and make this a lot shorter and just try like right on the edge of the log. Okay, so it looks like this worked. So now you can come over here, and on the object track you can double click it, and I'll just go ahead and put Pokemon. So here's what I want to place into this footage. I'll go ahead and cut it to where Charizard has already landed. Place this on top of the footage. Go ahead and hit Command B to cut it off right at the edge. Go over into my effects, go to keying, grab the keyer to remove the green screen. So once you click on transform, you can come over to this little arrow, click on tracker, and I'll go ahead and click on Pokemon and click on scale. And now I'm gonna go over here and just scale up Charizard and move him to where I want him on this video. Go ahead and scale him up some more, and now see how this looks. Rotate him just a little bit, and now play it back. And they got Charizard, and then of course you can scale him up even more, and now it looks like you got Charizard inside the footage. Go ahead and scale it down a little bit, move him down, so now he's a lot shorter. And that is how you are able to add an object into your video. And of course, if this doesn't work fully, you can click V to hide Charizard. Click here, click on reset, and then try doing this again just to see if you can get a better track. Here's what happens when you stay outside for too long. I'm going to show how you can make yourself sunburnt inside of Final Cut Pro. So I'm going to hold down Option and move this video clip above it to copy and paste it. I'm going to turn down that volume. Go into effects. I'm going to apply Emeraldo AI. Now I start highlighting my arms and face. You can do the same thing with the mask and just do a rough mask around the person by using the tracker. Click on move forward. After it's finished, I'll go to output, click on masked video. I go over to the color and click on hue, saturation, curves. Click on hue versus hue. Click on the brush tool, and so you'll go ahead and just click onto your skin. You can now go right here to this circle, and when you move the color, it changes the color, so you can turn green like the Incredible Hulk. But I just want to move this upwards a little bit to make it a little bit more red, and now I'll go ahead and add a color board. Go over saturation, and you can now basically just move up saturation and make yourself look really red, like you're super sunburnt. And that is it for this video. Please consider commenting, liking, and subscribing, as it helps this channel to grow, and thank you so much for watching.